space accounting, and the fundamentals of space management. Just like accounting, there are standards and best practices for the management of space and related assets. Leveraging the standards set by these organizations is fundamental, no matter what size or complexity of your organization or the brand of software tools utilized. The International Facilities Management Association represents all things facilities, with a focus on people, place, processes, and technology. BOMA is the Building Owners and Managers Association. They set the area measurement rules for landlords and tenants. OSCRE is the Open Standards Consortium for Real Estate, the data standards experts. The IES set the standard for post-secondary institutions via the FICM Red Book. A well-designed information framework provides the ability to drill down into a database structure. This is achieved by using unique codes for locations and all people and assets associated with a building. My associate will now share the basics of space management with you.
International associations have worked together to establish a great set of standards that can be utilized for facilities of all shapes, sizes, and types. Let's see how all space-related data is structured. Our own experience with customers adopting these space standards have included universities, property management firms, and public corporations, each dramatically different in size and purpose, but still needing to account for their space and its utilization. Let's start with an organization. It could have branch locations or campuses located around the world or just across town. Every building has a street address, but also must have a unique location code. That code will uniquely identify the branch location or the campus in the space accounting system. At each location are buildings, plus possibly structures of all shapes and sizes, depending on the scope of the organization. Additionally, there could be raw land in the portfolio. Once again, it's critical that each of these facilities and structures have unique code numbers that can associate it to the branch location or campus they belong to. The buildings, structures, and land should all be available via an online list, such as we see here. Often, there is a site plan which displays the property, including parking, green space, in addition to the actual building footprint. The building itself is made up of floors, plus possibly a basement, and most certainly has a roof, where work orders often are performed. Each floor gets a code number from 1 to 100, plus RF for the roof. Each floor requires an accurate digital twin that clearly reflects the as-built configuration of walls, doors, and windows, plus stairs and elevators. Critical numbers from each floor are the external and internal gross areas. Every floor is made up of spaces. All spaces are broken down into various categories and types based on the mission of the organization. Each space types should be color-coded for easy identification. Each space requires a unique room number. This allows it to be tied to the database, and is where the multi-part ID concept becomes critical. It is the combination of the building code plus the floor code plus the space code which makes this room unique. As an example, the code for the large yellow space on this floor is LA-03-1-167. Los Angeles, Building 3, Floor 1, Space 167. Once the floors and spaces have been established, they can be assigned characteristics based on their purpose, whether it be offices, support space, or classrooms. This is an area where the IFMA and OSCRE standards become very helpful by assisting in determining whether a space is assigned to a specific use or shared by all, as this will impact cost distribution. Having got your space inventory in place, there is now more data framework for the addition of associated assets, such as equipment, furniture, and other property. Each asset will receive a unique code, often confirmed with a barcode label or QR tag. Assets may be allocated to a specific department and then move with them, or they could be fixed in place and charged back to whomever is occupying the space at the time. And finally, we come to the most important asset to the organization, which is people, and getting them assigned to a workspace to help them be as productive as possible. A fundamental space management report is the occupancy plan. It displays names of people in the space they occupy. These assignments are often driven from a scheduled data feed, supplied by the Human Resources Department. We hope that this has provided you with insights into the basics of space accounting. Knowing farewell that many facilities people may only have access to floor plan drawings that look something like this.
Like many things in corporate life, getting your first steps started with the assistance of industry professionals can greatly accelerate the time to value. The key takeaway? Space is very expensive and worth tracking effectively.